Here we go then. You've tuned in for another test time video, and we're going to be getting into that case of test equipment, choosing a bit of test equipment which was selected in the last video, and we're going to be getting straight into it. Now if you didn't watch the last video, then this will come as a bit of a surprise to you as to what I'm going to be digging out of that case, and into it we go. But if you did watch last week's video, last week's, or whenever it was, last time's video, you know what's coming up. Okay, so have a look at the intro and then we'll get straight into it. Okay then, let's get into it. That on there is mine. There's a cup of tea in there. So, what are we going to be looking at in today's video then? Well, during the intro, I took the opportunity to open up that case and dig out the bit of test equipment that's going to be shown in today's video. Again, we're just going to do a quick talk through and discussion on it. I'm not going to be doing any tests or connecting any leads and probes up and goodness knows what else. We'll just have a bit, talk about a bit of equipment, and then that will be the end of it basically. And then I shall dive back into that case and choose another bit of equipment. I'm just going to have a quick go on my tea and we'll get into it. Right, okay, here it is then. Yes, it's that. It says Kewtech on it. I'm just going to sit that down there. Let me just move the case of test equipment out of the way. There we go. I've just shoved it over to the side there. You can see it there. So, what's inside this little pouch there that says Kewtech on it? Well, they do a product. Okay, it's connected in conjunction with a tester of your choice. And yes, using that tester, depending on what the functionality of that tester will do, this will facilitate that test to be carried out. What's inside that pouch is what Kewtech refer to as Lightmates. Okay, what are they? Let's have a look. There's more than one as well. I can't remember how many of them now. How many's in there? I think it's 5 or 6 or something like that. But we were just about to find out. Now I was given these, okay, and so they are, quite old, and they are used. Okay, so if you see like splits and all that lot in the pouch, then this is obviously a used set. I don't know what the price of these are doing at the moment, but I once looked up the price of these if you were to purchase the kit, and they're quite pricey for what they are. You can buy them individually, funnily enough. But there we are. So there's 5 of them in there. Okay, I'm going to dig one of them out. It's going to be that one there, and we'll have a look at it. Now there is a reason why I've picked this one, and that is to do with something called Polarity. Okay, because on there we've got an E27 cap. Okay, and when you're wiring up the lampholder of one of these, the polarity is particularly important. Then you've got this grey bit. On this grey bit, there's a couple of holes. Yes, you put your test probes in there. Okay, and on it says, if I can get on it with the zoom, I'll just lower that camera down a bit and zoom in on it for you. Creaky tripod. There we go then. So up top it says Kewtech, and then down the bottom it says Lightmates ES for Edison screw. Okay. So, as you can see by these colour codes, this one does actually give reference to a polarity. This one here should be a neutral, and it'll either be blue or black. Okay. This one over here should be a live or your active phase, hot, call it what you like, and that should be either red or brown. Okay, it's a funny shade of brown, but then that's a funny shade of black. That looks like grey to me. But there we are. Now, with the others, you don't get this colour banding around the holes, and there's a very good reason for that, and that is normally due to the fact that the Lightmates of that particular type can be put in the lamp holder either way around. So we'll have a look at one of those then. Who knows what this is? Yes. That on there's a Bayonet Cap. That's the full-sized one, the BC22. Okay, the other one is E27. This one. That's the E27 on there, and that's BC22. Let me pull that zoom back a bit. So again, we've got a cap on here. We'll connect it into a lamp holder. We've got the grey bit once again. And if I turn it around, you'll see that we've got the holes for the test probes once again. On this one then, if I zoom in on it, says Lightmates BC. Now, if you know about bayonet caps, you'll know that you can get that in the light socket either way around. And due to that, they're not polarised, okay? So there we are. And because of that, you don't have the colour banding around the test probe holes. You just get 2 test probe holes. Okay. So there it is. Let's get another one then. What about this one? With this one then, whoop, there you go. Up top there it says Kewtech, and down the bottom it says Lightmates GU10. Just in case you don't know what GU10 is, I'll just flip this over and you can have a look at the type of cap that is a GU10. There you go. So it's just like 2 pins. Those pins on there actually look like the starter on a fluorescent tube fitting. Okay. But you usually find that your GU10 light fittings are mains rated. Okay, they're not low voltage. So, you know, the lamp that you connect into the lamp holder, that would be obviously rated for 240 volts. Okay. Or if there's the GU10 fitting in other countries, it will be 120 or something like that. Okay. And again, on the top, I've already shown that, of course. You get your 2 holes for your test probes. And connect them in there. Next one then. What else have we got? Ah, yes. We're back on screw thread ones. Whack. That then is... I can't remember what the small one is, whether it's... get on the comments box if you know what size that is. Okay, because this is E27. Okay, I don't know what that is. I know on the bayonet caps you get BC22 and BC15, but I don't know what size that is. So if you know what that is, get on the comments box. I'm pretty sure I can find out somehow, one way or another. Okay, so you get E27 and then E something or other for the smaller one. What's normally known as a small Edison screw, or SES. Once again, because it is a screw thread and you've got the centre contact, polarity is important, so therefore you've got the colour banding on there once again. Okay, what would have been handy actually on the front of these if they did actually put the size on there. So look, for example, the this one where it says Lightmate ES, they could have actually wrote on there ES27. And then for this one, SES, whatever size it was. But you can see on here, once again, we've got the colour banding. Okay. So this one here, where it's got the blue and what should be black, that is the screw thread. Okay. With this one, where you get your red and your brown, that is the centre contact. Okay. So that is why it's important to observe the polarity when wiring up a screw thread or bayonet, well, not a bayonet cap, an Edison screw. Okay, Edison screw lamp to make sure you get the polarity round the right way. It's just to do with safety, because with some lamps you can actually get your finger down there and touch, as you're screwing it in, you can get your finger down the side there and touch this screw thread, and if that's obviously up at mains voltage you can get a blast off it, and that is why on the Edison screw fittings the centre contact must always be alive and this here be a neutral. And just to, you know, confirm what is what on this piece of test equipment, they've coloured them so that, you know, this one goes to the screw thread and then this one here goes to the centre contact. And we've got one left in that little case. What could it be? Well, I've already discussed the bayonet cap, so we obviously got to have the small version now. Whack, there it is. Okay, that on there then is the SBC, or small bayonet cap. BC15, I believe that is. Okay. So you get your two contacts on there, the two little pins that stick out either side. And because you can get that in the light fitting either way around, no colour banding around the holes once again. So on this one then it says Lightmates SBC on it. So there it is. That's all of them then. Let me just stand the camera up a bit and we'll line them all up so you can see them all. What I should do, actually, if I zoom that camera right out, I should angle them like that so you can see. Right, there's the bayonet cap ones then. So you've got BC22, BC15, or that is full-sized bayonet cap, and that is SBC, or small bayonet cap. Then we've got the Edison screw ones, E27, and the SES, or small Edison screw. Again, if you know what size that is, jump on the comments box. And then, just to finish that little lot off, we've got the GU10 one. Okay. So there it is. So what would you use these for then? Well, you know, depending on the bit of test equipment you connect up to these, you can use it to determine whether the light fitting is got a voltage on it. Okay, so you might want to do a volt check, or in the case of the Edison screw ones, just to check that your polarity is around the correct way. Okay, particularly important that. You can also do, say for example, add a light fitting. You can do, you know, a PSCC test, prospective short circuit currents, and that for that particular test it would obviously be live to neutral only, because obviously speaking in a lamp holder there is no earth connection. But then having said that, you could unscrew the terminal parts on the ceiling and connect an earth lead on that way and do it if you really had to or wanted to, or it was actually on the periodic inspection form that you needed such a value to be added on there. You can do it that way. But yes, you can use these for a variety of tests, including checking for voltage, polarity, PSCC, fault loop, continuity, all of that. What these are is to just facilitate that. Instead of getting a set of test probes and stuff them in the lamp holder, Kewtech made these, and you just put your test leads in there and then just screw it into the light fitting. Okay, if you're wondering what these are on there, they're just pack test labels from the previous owner, because like I say, I was given these as part of a used unit. Instruction manual. Okay, as I've already described with these, they're pretty simple to use. You don't really need an instruction manual. And in recent times, I do actually believe that Kewtech don't supply instruction manuals with these anymore. Because, well, like I say, they're pretty simple to use. It's not rocket science. And if I look in here, it doesn't actually say, you know, get this bit of test equipment, how to use it. It's just like warnings and advice about like maximum voltage you can connect it to, and don't get it wet and things like that. They're not actual instructions. So yes, So like here, down here it says general, and then if used in a manner not specified above for protection may be impaired and all that sort of hocus pocus. And it says you know, maximum voltage 230 volts AC and all of that lot. Okay, so it's not really instructions in such a way as to, you know, get this and screw it in the light fit in this way. Use these two holes to connect test probes in. It's not like that kind of instructions. And in case you're wondering what all that other writing is, that's Italian and French and German and all of that. So it's a multi-language instruction sheet. Okay, so there we are. Lightmates testing adapter. And like I say, you get 5 of them there. So that goes back in there. Now when reinstating these in the little pouch, you've got to put them in there like alternately. Some of them go in that way up and some of them go that way. So you've got to put them in the pouch like that kind of arrangement. Okay. That's how you've got to put them in the pouch, as I've lined them up there. So I'm going to put that one in. Again, I don't think I'll put these in the pouch in any particular order. I'll just throw them in there. And there we are, they're all in there then. So they just sit in there like that. You do the little pouch up, and there it is. A packet of Lightmates then by Kewtech. What happens next? Well, I've got to get that case of test equipment, get the old wiggly finger, and just to keep you hooked in, for the next video I've got to choose another bit of test equipment. And then we shall be discussing that in another video on another day. Okay, so here comes wiggly finger. There's a case of test equipment over there. And let's get into it then. Right, let's open up the case. Now, normally speaking, these Lightmates, they live underneath that piece of test equipment, but just for speed, I'm going to leave that on top of that piece of test equipment. That's there, we've already done that one, so that's already in the test time playlist. Go and have a look at that if you want. Search for Dialog 983p and you'll find it. So, Wiggly Finger now has got to choose another piece of test equipment. Bit of a problem. We've already done everything except one thing. So Wiggly Finger is going to stop straight there on this here, not that. We've already done that. Right, see this pouch here? Oh look, there's a note. It says Kewtech on it. Okay, so this big pouch is in the next video on another day. Okay, so we've done everything in the case of test equipment. Then we've done that, those two, this, that, the Lightmates, the 9083p underneath there, and all of that. So, in the next video, which will be on another day, this big pouch here, which is quite sizable, let's take all that off the top of there. There it is. So this big pouch, we're going to be diving into that, and there's multiple things in there, so it's going to be quite a lengthy video. And, yes. Now, when I bought this pouch, there was empty locations in that, and you can buy other bits of test equipment and put them in those locations. That case is actually filled up and slightly overfilled, hence those leads not fitting in there. Okay, so we're going to be looking in that in another video on another day. I'd like to say thanks for tuning in for watching this one then. Just so that you don't miss out on that, press the subscribe button right now to save you having to miss out on that. And if you can spare me one, a big old thumb up will be most delightful, so that I know that you liked watching this. And we'll go from there. So I'm just going to put all this back in there then. Close the case of test equipment, and from me and the case of test equipment, I'd like to say thanks for watching another Wayne's Electrical video.